So obviously there is a want for Universal monster movies, and I think you could do a monster universe, but it would just take a lot of patience and a lot of creative ideas to make it all work. And oddly enough, I think if you're going to start the Dark Universe, I honestly think a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde psychological thriller would have been a better movie to start this franchise with, more than The Mummy, the big bombastic blockbuster summer thriller. Keep it small and then grow. And I would have loved to see a more psychological thriller of Russell Crowe going back and forth between Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That would have been way more interesting, way more compelling. So you could have that movie where he is struggling with it the whole time, going back and forth between the two personalities, and he finally gets a wrangle on it. That's when he realizes that, you know, there's other issues out in the world and he needs to go help others or what have you. Or maybe he has knowledge of this stuff already, that's why he's able to kind of cure himself in a sense or help himself. So he always keeps an eye out for other monstrous things going on in the world. That's how he kind of becomes the Nick Fury, right? And then the next movie could be a period piece of Dracula. You don't have to go back to like the 1700s, but go back to the 1930s, a nice little nod to Bela Lugosi. Have the movie mainly set then, maybe at the end he doesn't die, but he desiccates. And then he wakes up in modern day and, you know, 2025, and boom, there's Dracula, kind of like Captain America. Then your next movie could be The Frankenstein's Monster, and however that wants to work out. You could have Dr. Frankenstein meet up with Dr. Jekyll, and they work on stuff, and they figure out how they make Frankenstein's monster, and that's an issue, and blah, blah, blah. And then the next one could be an actual mummy movie, and that's when Tom Cruise's character gains the godly mummy powers, and they know that, oh, in the wrong hands, this could be really bad. And maybe he ends up being the Thanos type thing they got to stop in the future, or maybe those powers that he has helps them stop the Thanos type threat later on that they face in movie 5. That's how you do it, in my opinion. That right there is all more compelling to me than what we got in this hour and 45-minute movie. Again, I think there is a lot of things you can do with the Dark Universe. I know it's not going to happen anymore. There's still a lot of fanfare for these characters, and there are ways to do it in the modern day, and there are ways to franchise it. Again, you just got to be patient and you got to be creative.